We got Diggs is unhappy in Buffalo. Yesterday, he was not a mandatory minicamp. Today, he was there. But I guess yesterday he was there. Then he left. And Sean McDermott said he was very concerned. And I guess now it's mended. But what doesn't make sense to me is why make that such a big public issue yesterday if it's a problem that can be resolved in a day? And also, he just signed an extension with the Bills, and he's already done this in Minnesota, publicly make like an issue out of what like the situation. And you saw like him and Josh Allen were arguing last year. So it's like, obviously there's competitors and Diggs seems like a competitor, but he unfollowed all the Buffalo Bills off social media and followed the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't know what's really going on there.
It's just like we were saying, there's just so many red flags about the situation. And seriously, it's like the more I think about it, just the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Superstar guy, you're paying him all this money. In the first day really on contract on this new money, going to turn around and make a fool of the situation, make the team a trending topic.
Yeah.
Just a bad look. Like we were saying with the Vikings too. It's kind of like, is this how Stefon Diggs acts when he gets upset?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Diggs. And like, obviously he's the top 5 receiver in the league. I just like we were talking about before we restarted, like genuinely, like, where does he go? Like, where does he go? Like, if he wants to compete for and be on a perennial Super Bowl contender, the Bills are probably the best shot he's got. But unless he goes to the NFC and goes to like the Cowboys, like we were talking about, or the Chiefs, if they can make it work financially. But it's not going to be Cincinnati. It's not going to be Philadelphia. So it's like, where do you go outside of those teams that you want to compete? Unless it's all about money, but it doesn't make sense. He got paid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing just literally makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Like you were saying, the only thing that makes any sense, realistically here, is if he lost faith in the Bills. And it's like, okay. But again, from a professional standpoint, from all these things, it's like, why would you do that? You're just not in a position to do that, in my opinion.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Because it's like, you're there for the next how many 3-4 years?
Bro, my thing is too, you do this right now. Like, it just, I feel like you rub a lot of people in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And like we said, you're there for all this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't want to start off a tenure like that. And again, from a psychology standpoint, think to yourself, he's doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
To make them think that, to go, yeah, maybe we don't want him around this for all this time.
Well,
if you just sit around and you don't want to be there and you just act like everything's fine, then they don't have any reason to push you out the door.
Yeah. Also, another thing that I am interested in is last year, after like the first half of the year, it didn't really feel like it was the Bills' year. And everyone was chalking it up to, oh, it's the Bills' year. What if we don't see like that success past like a week 5-6 this year? Like, to me, this is like a situation where the tension is only going to build higher and higher and higher. And there's going to be an issue further down the road. But it's like, you're signed to that extension. His contract makes him pretty much untradeable this year. I don't know the details for next year, but it's like you're creating friction in a situation that you're going to be forced to be in for the next couple of years. I don't know. If the Bills are looking to compete for a while, which I assume they are by signing Josh Allen to that massive contract, what is this doing?
Well, it's like, dude, at this point, I mean, seriously, it's like, you just don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Did he say something to Josh Allen where now Josh Allen is never the same with him? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what it is. That's like, we won't know. But it's like we're saying, and like I was saying, dude, you go back to that last game they played together in Cincinnati, or I mean, in Buffalo against Cincinnati. Again, get your ass kicked at home in your weather. All those things that went into play. It's like, I don't know. Seems like things really just soured that day as where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like the Bills, like this was kind of like not talked about after that game. But it's like, in reality, if they take Diggs out of that offense, like who? Gabe Davis is your 2?
We know that one for me. Fantasy.
It's just like they don't have that established running game. So it's like you lose Diggs. It's kind of like, okay, the Bills, what seed are they? Realistically, what seed are they in the AFC playoffs?
Well, and it's like, look, if Josh Allen comes back again, this year
Yeah.
doing that reckless bullshit. Because y'all know was not a fan of it. It was just garbage. We don't expect from Josh Allen.
Right.
It was being a little nice on him on the rankings, but just, stuff you can't do. Right.
Right.
I'm sure stuff like that too is what it goes along in Stefon's mind, where he's seen Mahomes out here doing all the crazy stuff with no turnovers. And he's like, dude, you got to stop. Like, I'm sure it's like, again, stuff we'll never be in the room for.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's stuff like that is if I had to take a guess, it would just be all that stuff adding up. With that you remember the image where you stand and watch the Chiefs go, move on. It's like, it's just like this storyline where it's like Stefon, like we're saying, he wants to go all the way.
Right.
And it's like, that's not happening in Buffalo. So it's like, there's the friction being created. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, it's not easy. And it's like, if you weren't on the Chiefs, it's really not like, or the Bengals, any other situation, you're still be in the same situation. And we know those aren't viable situations anyway. It's just, the whole thing's a mess. And again, it kind of like that point I was going on earlier, but I don't know, dude. People just need to be with the grind. This era of superstars has gotten to like the second something's not going their way, like I want a new situation. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's just not how things are going to go.
I think a big thing too on that is this isn't like the NBA. Like, it's not like if a Dame, for example, went to a team that was one star away, it would make such an impact. Like, like a top tier superstar in the NFL, like a Rodgers going to the Jets, like he could realistically take them to the next level. But that's because he's playing the hardest position in sports. He's a quarterback. Beyond being a quarterback, you're out there there's 21 other starters. So it's like not only is it 22, the amount of players out there compared to like a 5, which a starting 5 in basketball. It's just like teams are not going to move like heaven and earth if you're not a quarterback to go get you, because it's proven it's going to kill them from a cap standpoint, and it's not going to allow them to compete.
No, yeah, and it's like, dude, I'll stand on it forever. I always have. I'll stick with it forever. Like, teams, when you see this type of stuff, right? Like, you see how he's acting.
Yeah.
It's like, from my perspective, if you're a team with pedigree and you want to go all the way, it's almost like, I don't want that guy.
No.
Because it's like, I clearly see how he gets when things aren't going his way.
Yeah.
And it's like, things aren't going to be going his way every day of this year. It just isn't life. So, and you know what I mean? And I think, again, from like a standpoint of if you're going to be the guy then to want to make the move, me personally, feel like that's a huge turnoff. So it's almost like you're doing yourself wrong. You're doing yourself bogus by
a disservice. Yeah.
But again, though, it's like, there's just no winning, because then we wouldn't know about the situation, and we wouldn't know he's unhappy if he didn't tell us. There's just no winning it, unfortunately. That's not. But again, though, there was a way. That's why you just don't sign the contract if you don't want to be there. There actually is a way to win the situation.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a lot of like, I'll sign the contract and then move me. So it's like he already has the contract and then he kind of gets to determine where he goes. But I don't think it works in this situation. Like, I don't get this if it's truly an internal issue that they can work out, I don't understand the point of making it public for one day.
No, exactly. Whole thing makes no sense.